Everybody, we're here making a video for the 3 for Thursday open tag. I believe RJ or someone, I think it was RJ started this. But I got my motivation for doing these knives off of Warthog's fixed blade preview video he put out, I believe, on Friday. But yeah, this is 3 bark rivers that I have. And we'll kind of talk about these. I kind of got this one first. I got another one. Then I got the Gunny. Then I got the, the Bushcraft Scout. The Bravo one is the beast. It is the one that you use to open car doors, cut yourself out of a helicopter, just different things like that. But we'll run through these today and talk about them. We'll start with the biggest one first because it is the first bark river that I ever purchased. It is in the 3V. I don't think it's going to focus or get the lighting right to get that. Let's see if I can get her to... There we go. Yeah, this one is in the 3V, the super steel. If we look at the thickness of this thing is absolutely massive. It's massive in hand. It's massive in the spine. It's just a beast of a knife. You could use that to get yourself out of about any situation. The Bravo 1, the total length on the Bravo 1 knife is 9.065 inches. The blade itself is 4 1/4, and the thickness on the spine is almost 1/4 inch at 0.215. It's just a beast. And I always go, I'm a sucker for green canvas micarta for some reason. I like the color green. If you look, this one here does have the red liners on it. It's just a beautiful, beautiful knife. This knife has never been used one time. I bought it and I got it and I was like, oh, this thing is, it's a superb knife, and I never wanted to use it. The one below it is its little brother. It is the Gunny. Now if we look, it's also in green canvas micarta. It's also in the 3V super steel. It also has the red liners. So what I did is, once I got the Bravo, the Gunnies come up to where you could buy them, because these were kind of hard to get at when I first started buying them. And then I snatched up the first one I could find very quickly that had the red liners to match, to get like the matching father-son pair. Because the Gunny is just the smaller brother of the Bravo. It's basically the same knife if you look at the saber grind on it, the style of it. I like the handle on the Gunny a lot more. Once I bought it, I realized that I really like the handle. I'm a big guy, and that takes up your hand. So I like this so much, and I didn't want to go out and bash on it in case I needed to maybe use these to pair up and get something even better. Because you can always wheel and deal on the Bark River boys. So what I did is I purchased this knife right here. This is also a Gunny, but it's the A2. But the heat treat on this knife is so good that it's just killer. But anyway, this is about these 3. It's 3 for Thursday. So we're going to talk about these 3. The last one we have here. Oh, let's talk more about the Gunny itself. I'm sorry. The Gunny, the full length is 8.25 inches. The blade itself, 3.75, and the thickness is 0.156. So you can still baton. You can feather stick really good with these. I just like the way it feels in my hand, honestly. You can choke way up if you want to. You can hold it a couple of different ways. Let's zoom out if we can. It's just a beautiful. I just like the way it feels just a little bit more than the Bravo. And it seems like if I'm going to go on a hike for just 2 or 3 days, maybe even 4, I'm taking a Gunny with me, with a silky saw or a hatchet. The last one we have here is the Bushcraft Scout. Now this one here isn't in 3V. It is in the MagnaCut. These were fairly new last year. And I thought, I'll just try to pick one of those up. And I pre-ordered it. Now this one doesn't have the red liners. This is just basic, you know, the micarta. Because I didn't know what I was getting into. I pre-ordered a knife and I didn't know how much it was going to be. They don't give you the final cost when you pre-order through DLT. So I put $25 down and just wanted the basic knife itself. Now if we look at this knife, it's going to be 7.85 inches long. The blade length 3.75. So they advertise it as being the same blade length as the Gunny, but I don't know. The Gunny looks like it could be a hair longer. Just a hair. But these are all hand ground up there in the factory in Escanaba. So, you know, Mike Stewart's Bark River factory. So they're not going to be exact. This one does have the jimping on the back. You can choke up really good with this one. It just feels a little bit thinner in hand. If we look, it's kind of like the same size as ultralight Bushcrafter. Which I'll break one of those out here in a second too, but yeah, this right here, I'm still going with the Gunny. You know, this right here, not a lot is known about this MagnaCut steel, I don't think yet. So, you know, I just don't know how well this holds up to light batoning and stuff like that. I was watching the Dutch Bushcraft boys, and they actually broke 1 and 2. But I still went ahead and bought one. I thought, what the hell, you know. Theirs did have a little flaw within the metal when they, you know, when they showed it at the end. There was a little speck in that metal, so I don't know if they just hit a spot or what happened. But I haven't done anything with this knife yet because, well, where's it at here? Because I got the ultralight Bushcrafter as well. Now this one's an elk. I kind of went all out with this one, but if we look at these two kind of compared together, the blade on the ULB is a little shorter, but the handle is pretty much dead on. This is in the 3V as well. I know it is 3 for Thursday, but, you know, I'm showing 5. But this right here, it almost looks like this knife has a micro bevel on it, but it doesn't. I sharpened this myself. I started with 220, then I went to 600 wet, 1000 wet, 1500 wet, 2000 wet. And then I did compound 3, 6, and 12. And when you do that, it just makes her shine. I mean, you can get a mirror edge on these things, but it's still a convex. That is not a micro bevel. Someone said that in a video I put up on this knife. And I was like, dude, if you want to go watch the video of me sharpening it, go ahead, and I tagged the video of me actually sharpening that. And it's definitely a convex edge. But, you know, this isn't about that. This is about the 3 for Thursday. This is my 3 right here. Now, like I said, Warthog kind of inspired me because he did his fixed blade preview, and he had a Bark River in it. I think it's the Cub. And he said he's going to try to use it as a EDC and go out and carry it around and see what it's like. So, yeah. Now, if we look, the sheaths for these have not been opened. This one I opened. I put a ferro rod in it. One, if you drop it, easy to find because it's orange. And I did the treatment on the sheath with Obenaufs. If we look what that did to the sheath, I mean, man, that's killer, isn't it? That is killer. I did Obenaufs on the Gunny sheath too, but this must be a different type of leather. I did Obenaufs on the ULB as well. But like I said, it just must be a different kind. I did, I believe, I did 3 coats on this of Obenaufs. So yeah, worked out pretty well. And these sheaths, great retention. You don't have to worry about, you know, if it's upside down, it ain't going to come out. You know, it's just basic belt loop. Like I said, I've not tested this knife yet. I bought it and it just kind of went to the wayside because my Bark River EDC that I usually use is the A2 Gunny, because this thing right here just takes a licking and keeps on ticking. This one's been customized though. This one, I had a full height grind put on it. I had the ramp removed. It's just an all-around awesome knife. I can beat the hell out of this. Since I got it back from Bark River after they customized it, I've butchered half a hog and 2 whitetail, and I've just dropped it and it comes right back to hair popping sharp. So the heat treat on that knife alone is just, whew, man, it is something else, I tell you that. I was very surprised. What I want to do is I just want to, let's see if I can sharpen. That's convex. That's a convex edge by hand in my garage. And if you go back, you can watch the video on it if you search for it. It says getting the ULB hair popping sharp. I had to do that because this knife came extremely dull. It was dull when I received it from who I bought it from. Well, I bought it from a company. I bought it from DLT Trading. You know, they don't open them up and inspect them. So that came from the factory dull. No big deal. Old Jerry, Big J's Knives, took her out there and we put a nice convex edge on it and got her sharpened right up. But yeah, this is my 3 for Thursday. The Bravo 1, the Gunny, and the Bushcraft Scout. Guys, hey, keep her rolling. Remember, stay sharp and stay strong out there, fellas.